Hello, everyone. I'm here to talk about a very special experience that I had at the Overlook Film Festival, and that is the masterclass put on by Robert Rodriguez. And I'll give a quick review of his movie Red 11, which I'm not 100% sure if it's ever going to get a full release. It sounds like whenever he releases his masterclass, which is going to be a 3-hour documentary, he's going to package it with the movie for Red 11. And this was a very, very interesting experience. First off, I'm a huge fan of Robert Rodriguez. I started looking at cinema differently after I saw Sin City and various other movies of his, and they really informed me on what I would like in the future. I just love the style, I love the humor, I love the violence, like all of it has been so good in his movies. Even like Alita Battle Angel, a lot of people were kind of like middling on that. I enjoyed the hell out of that movie. But in this experience, we were at the University of New Orleans campus, and he basically went out there and just absolutely nerded out over making movies and how much he loves doing this low-budget stuff. It's like, this is a man who's probably been given $100 million budgets before, and he spent $7,000 to make to make Red 11. This is going back, I think it was 25 years ago when he made El Mariachi and only spent $7,000. It was his first movie, and he basically was putting himself out there as a human guinea pig for pharmaceutical companies to test healing solutions. So they'd like deeply punch one arm with like this device and then punch the other side so they'd have a control on one side and try healing salve on the other. And like, he says that his ultimate fear is that he's just going to wake up someday and that his entire life of all these movies and experiences is just going to have been a dream. But he would go on to detail tons about his process too. He has this method of using note cards, and a movie is usually about 40 to 50 scenes, and he's setting it up like just at the most generic level. You lay out those 50 cards, you're building the world. It's like, all right, so I've got the scene here, I'm gonna, like, these are the linking scenes, you go back, and you just put it all together, and you make this thing that's timelined out. And honestly, the way he described it applies way more than just movies. Like, you could do this for your life. The way he has it organized was just so cool, and I'm really hoping that you guys get to see this someday. Like I said, I don't know when you guys are going to be able to see the masterclass, where it's going to be released, but he was so good and enthusiastic and happy about this. And also, he was the one setting up the lights. Like, for these types of movies, he only uses 2 lights. And that was the same thing he did with El Mariachi, where it's like, you don't spend too much time trying to make everything perfect. You try to do the things that you have with stuff laying around. You don't worry about buying things for these movies. You work with what you already have prop-wise, because that's just going to slow you down. And I keep saying that it was all in his enthusiasm, and it really was. Like, he was just up there talking about something that he clearly loved. And it was inspiring, and it was fun, and it was just silly. And he was showing clips about things he did while he was talking about it, so we'd see these aspects of Red 11 where he was showing how to do special effects shots with no budget. Like, he literally just to do someone getting stabbed in the eye with a hypodermic needle, all he did was basically add something to go around a piece of tape. And using creative angles, he was able to show it. Like, it looked perfect on video. And I will say that the $7,000 thing is a bit of a misnomer whenever you're not taking into account the 25 years of directing experience and writing and everything else that he has. But he's trying to show you that you can make that jump and just dive headlong in and make a feature-length film for a lot less than you're thinking you can. Because El Mariachi was awesome. Like, it's campy, it's old, it's 1994, I think. But, like, it's also one of the things that, like, showed Kevin Smith that he could go on and make his own movies. Like, it's one of those things where if you're a cinephile, you should check it out because it's the beginnings of a major career, and you see that love and that craft inside of it. So, if you get a chance, that masterclass with Robert Rodriguez is amazing. I'm not sure how many he's going to do. He did it at South by Southwest. He's probably going to do it a few more times. If you can, go see it. We're going to talk about Red 11 for a minute. And I was talking about how he was paranoid that he was going to wake up someday and it was just going to be like all a dream. And that's basically part of the premise for this. It's in that same hospital setting, like the lab rat style thing for humans. People are trying to do it. It's the $7,000 budget, or they're getting paid $7,000 for 2 weeks, which fits into the whole $7,000 budget for the movie. Just a bunch of like little in jokes there. He has his sons in the movie. He shows how to do some of these special effects, all this. But in the movie itself, like you've got these groups of people that are separated into red shirts, blue shirts, magenta shirts, and it just keeps on kind of building on itself over and over and over again to show how these drugs affect these people, these powers that they're developing, these like cheap but fun special effects, and it's all about the banter between the people, which is very much a Rodriguez and Tarantino and all that sort of thing. Like Rodriguez isn't as good as Tarantino at dialogue as far as like the quips and everything, but he's up there. He's really good with it. And the chemistry between the main actor and the actress, these are very low named people, and I'm sorry I forgot your names, especially because you were there and I got to meet you guys real quick. But it was just so fun. And that was the thing that like struck me about that movie was I was laughing the whole time. I was laughing during the presentation, and I'm about 90% sure the reason why I enjoyed Red 11 so much is because of the class that came before it and the time that we got to see the making of, and we got invested in the movie before actually watching it. So I think that definitely helps with my loving of Red 11. But to see all that stuff broken down so much down to like the $7,000, the one camera, like, and just how they put it together, the quicker takes, trying to get it done in like just a few 3 or 4 takes, and even how to eliminate frames to make action look a little bit faster without making it look like weird scoping techniques and things like that. It was just so cool. And once again, just nerding out over film with one of my favorite directors, like just sitting in the crowd and seeing that was amazing. So I'm very grateful that I got to do this. Overlook did a great thing by getting Robert Rodriguez out here, and I'm just very grateful I got to attend. So sorry that this is a kind of a mixed review of like a movie and an experience, but if you get the chance to see Robert Rodriguez promoting Red 11, please do it. It's a great time. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit up our social media at Human Echoes. I'm Tony Southcott, or T Southcott on Twitter. And check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Human Echoes. I hope you guys have an excellent day, and we will see you with more reviews from the Overlook Film Festival 2019.